The House of Kuru, Part 1, Chapter 26, The Lion Throne. Bhishma gasped when he heard the news. Satyavati shrieked and Ambalika shed tears. This can't be. The king. This will be the end of his lineage, sighed Bhishma. Everyone was downcast with sorrow. Everyone except Shakuni and Dhritarashtra. Neither could believe their luck in the turn of the new events. Without the king, the regent's position remained, especially since Pandu himself crowned Dhritarashtra, specifically as per Shakuni's request. With Pandu entering permanent exile, the vast empire of Hastinapura now belonged to the blind king Dhritarashtra, until either son of Pandu or Dhritarashtra came to claim the throne, as Dhritarashtra was the regent and Bhishma was the king's guard. We must make our way to Chitrakuta forest and coax the king to return, said Vidura, while Bhishma nodded. The king has taken a vow of celibacy to protect himself and his wives. The curse of the sage Kindama, if proven effective, would weaken the perception of the throne, said Shakuni with a sense of concern. Vidura, growing impatient, said, We cannot leave our king in the forest. Our king is sitting on the lion throne of Hastinapura. All hail King Dhritarashtra! Bhishma, did not Pandu coronate the king? Is it not true that the action of the former king of Hastinapura, kind King Pandu, holds true? Asked Shakuni. And Bhishma had no choice but to accept Shakuni's proposal. Yes, Shakuni, as Pandu specifically coronated King Dhritarashtra, and now as Pandu has abdicated his throne, the lion throne of Hastinapura belongs to King Dhritarashtra, said Bhishma, whose words were like sweet nectar and honey to Dhritarashtra, and Vidura had no choice but to obey and bow to the dictate laid down by King Pandu. Both Dhritarashtra and Shakuni were ecstatic. Dhritarashtra felt like he was walking on the moon. His entire life's dream had come true. Dhritarashtra was now the emperor of the vast empire of Hastinapura with 57 vassal states, thanks to Pandu for adding 4 more during his Digvijaya. The castaway prince had become the emperor overnight, and his joy and pleasure knew no bounds. Though he could not see the lion throne of Hastinapura, he had felt each and every inch of it a week ago when he thought he would be abdicating the throne after Pandu's arrival. Later that night, he made his way once more to the throne room when he was certain no one was present, and once more began to feel the lion throne of Hastinapura like a little boy playing with a dear toy. The lion throne had 2 roaring lions sculpted in gold on either armrest. Each of the lions on each armrest had glowing rubies for eyeballs and diamond fangs protruding from the lion's mouth. The throne was meticulously crafted and tailored with silken satin, draped all over the seat, drenched in the most expensive and exquisite vermilion dye. The seat had the softest cushion on earth, made from a combination of cashmere, wool, mohair from Himalayan goats, civet from musk oxen, angora from mountain hare, peacock feathers, tree sap of certain trees which produced elasticity, and feathers of various exotic birds known for their plumage and comfort. The top of the throne had another large roaring lion with its mouth open over the throne, having glowing sapphires for eyes and large rubies for fangs. When the emperor was seated on the lion throne, he looked like the lions were subservient to him despite their sculpted ferocity. Drool slipped from the corner of Dhritarashtra's face as he felt his way around the lion throne. The entire throne was carved from one large block of gold, and it outshone every other decoration in the throne room, including the emperor's crown. As Dhritarashtra was feeling the lion throne of Hastinapura, unbeknown to him, Shakuni was right behind him, and he too greedily eyed the lion throne. Though he could never claim the throne, he too was in awe of the majestic, mighty golden lion throne. The second Dhritarashtra sat on the throne, a wave of superiority, courage, and regal splendor surged through his veins. Dhritarashtra's entire body vibrated with pleasure as he sat on the golden lion throne for the umpteenth time, just like the every other time he sat on the throne, only this time he felt it more deeply. Several days of chariot distance away from the forests of Chitrakuta lived another king, an exiled king who now did not know what to do with his life. King Pandu decided to renounce everything and pursue absolute celibacy and perform severe austerities to obtain the highest heaven. This heaven is higher than the realm of the celestials, the seventh heaven inhabited by the creator god Brahma. Performing severe austerities in the reverberating sun or the freezing downpour of rain, Pandu began to glow with ascetic prowess. Even the sages and hermits within the forests of Chitrakuta began to envy and respect Pandu's resolve for the realm of Brahma. Both his wives would assist him in his spiritual progress by fetching fodder for any fire ritual or fruits for offering after performance on rituals and offerings to the gods. Time went by and Pandu became known as the royal sage amongst sages. Hermits and forest dwellers within the forests of Chitrakuta, he was glowing with the prowess of his asceticism and austerities, living on just a few blades of grass and water, eating only once a week. All the sages in the forest became very impressed with his devotion to pursue the highest heaven. Yet, they still refused to teach him the sacred method by which one attains heaven. Pandu approached the eldest sage amongst the sages of the forest and asked him, "O wise, benign being of the forest, I am performing rigorous penances to attain the highest heaven, yet my body will not rise. Though the other sages respect and revere me, they do not accept me as one of their own. Tell me, O sage, what must I do?" requested Pandu with deep humility, when the sage replied, "Every man has 4 debts to pay throughout his life. 1 to the gods, 1 to the sages and seers, 1 to the ancestors, and 1 to fellow man," explained the sage. "One pays the gods through penance and worship. 1 pays the sages and seers through the study of the scriptures. 1 pays the ancestors through progeny, and 1 pays his fellow man by following virtue and serving humanity," said the sage. "O king, you have paid 3 out of your 4 debts, but in order to ascend to heaven, you need to pay 1 more debt," said the sage. "But, O wise one, I am a cursed being. I have no hope of progeny," lamented Pandu. "Progeny sired by you, Pandu," explained the sage. Then it hit him. He was sired by the great sage and seer Vedavyasa. So perhaps there was another way to obtain progeny.
I hope you liked today's episode of The House of Kuru. If you have not already, please subscribe to this channel and like this video so that you will be notified every time a new video is uploaded. Thank you.